Okay, there we go. All right, so doing a quick video, let me share my screen. So I fixed the error why it was not receiving the lead form um, on Facebook. So this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to map the lead form. So we already went through the ad, created the lead form because this is a Facebook lead form ad. We're not taking them directly to a website for website clicks because technically we don't have the budget for that. That's not the budget um, that you have right now to do that type of ad. So we're going to do a lead form ad where Facebook collects the lead, gives it a lead form, collects a name, phone number, and email, and which will automatically create an automation with the GoHighLevel. So that is what we're going to do. So we already did we've already done the website. I mean, sorry, we've already done the ad. We ran through the ad. It's scheduled to go off on Tuesday. Now we're going to do all of the back work on the back end to make sure that this goes off without a hitch. So I'm going to go to your GoHighLevel. So this is what we're going to do. First things first, we need to make sure that we have the Facebook lead form linked, which I've already done, but I'm gonna walk you through it. So we need to go to settings in our sub account, scroll down to integrations, and in integrations, we need to go to Facebook form mapping because this is a Facebook lead form. We already created the lead form when we created the ad. So we need to make sure that when that lead comes in from that Facebook lead form, it automatically goes into GoHighLevel as a contact. And then we need to make sure that it triggers the workflow that we need. So once you click on Facebook lead form, it's already here, of course. You see the lead, that's the lead form that we created for the 5K first time home buyer. And then we edit forms, make sure everything is mapped. Email, make sure it goes to the email field. First full name, make sure full name field, phone number, bam. Then we confirm. Now that's done. All right, so now when the lead comes in from Facebook, it'll automatically go into GoHighLevel. But now what we need to do, we need to make sure that the automation fires as soon as that lead comes in. So I've already started the automation, but I'm going to go ahead and create the automation. So this is going to be a little long because we're about to start this, we're about to build this automation all the way from scratch. I'm just going to do a basic, simple automation, not going to be anything too crazy. It's not going to have any if-and sequences and all that different stuff. It's just straightforward follow-up automation. So we got that here. So we got the 5K closing cost credit, Facebook lead. That's the ad that we're running. Let's go ahead and go in there. So first thing we need to do is we need to trigger. We need to create a trigger. So the trigger for this lead, for this automation is going to be the actual Facebook lead form. So we go ahead and go here. So let's start that over so you can follow along. So we go to add triggers. Then we will say it's right here, Facebook lead form submitted. Click that. So we already, so the page that the ad is being ran from is our generic Texas real estate deals page. So we have that here, and then we need to get the form. The form is the lead form that we created when we created the ad. So we go here. That's the only form that we have because this is your very first Facebook ad that you're officially running. So we click that here, save the trigger. That's it. So as soon as that lead comes in from Facebook, this will automatically trigger. But the next thing we need to do, we need to make sure there's a couple things in this automation because these are specific leads. You're running a campaign for up to $5,000 in closing cost assistance. So first thing we need to do, we need to tag it. So every lead that comes in from this, we know it's tagged. We know where it came from and what it is. So we need to create a new tag. So we're going to type it in 5K closing costs credit Facebook ad. Let's put the date to this ad doesn't start and technically until the 9th, so 2/9, 2025. So that way we know this lead came from this specific ad. We got that in there. Now it's saved. Now, this next step, you can do it however you feel like you may want to do it. A lot of people like to be able to be notified every time a lead comes in, but if you're spending a lot of money on ads and you're getting 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 leads a day, some people are getting 100 leads a day, you don't want that many emails. But since, like I said, this is just a small ad, we're only doing $25 a day. We may get anywhere from 4 to 7 leads a day. You know, it won't be too bad getting in the notification. So we're going to do an internal notification. I like doing the email. And then what we'll do is keep it simple. Just have the subject. You have a new lead. Facebook page from your 5K CC Facebook. All right, put that in here. New lead from Facebook ad. And then you can do this notification in several different ways. You can do an email, you can do a text message, WhatsApp, or internal notification from the app. I just keep it simple, keep it in the email. Then we save it here. Oh, and we'll do the user. We want this to go to the particular user, which is yourself. And we will save this. All right, so now we have the trigger, which is when the lead comes in from Facebook, this triggers this automation. We have it tagged, so we know exactly 5K, what the cost tag, 5K, and FB ad tag. So we got it tagged. I like to label everything, keep it neat, nice and neat. And then we got an internal notification. So every time a lead comes in, you get um, notified. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to create the actual automation. Now, to keep things simple, I used to write all my automations out manually, write them out, write all the emails, write all of the text messages and the voicemails and all that stuff. With technology now, AI, I don't have to do any of that anymore. So I believe we already have that. Let me check and see which ChatGPT I have that in. Maybe this one. Maybe it's this one. All right, we are back. All right, so back to the automation. So now we're going to create the full automation drip campaign. So this is how this ad works. You're running an ad where you're going to be offering up to $5,000 in closing cost credit. Um, that's the big, and then you want to go after, potential credit challenge clients. So that's the big draw. Um, Once they click on that ad, the next step, they could click on the sales funnel or the page that we created to fill out a little mini application, which really just kind of qualifies them to see if they can actually, if they're a good lead. And then once they fill that out, they automatically get an email that will have an actual certificate showing, up to $5,000 in closing cost credit or what have you. But this is the first step. The first step for them to be able to get that, they have to be able to, they have to fill out that qualification page that we created in a funnel. The reason for that is because I want to create something tangible for them to get, whether it's through the email, which is the certificate. So when you follow up and actually get on the phone and call these leads, you can just say, "Hey, this is Ryan from the Lone Ranger team at Innovation Mortgage Services. I was just giving you a call. I know you reached out to us because you were interested in the $5,000 closing cost credit that we're offering for, our home buyers looking to purchase a home. But the real reason I called, I wanted to make sure, did you receive the certificate for your up to $5,000 closing cost credit that should have came through your email? That should bring down the wall because they're going to either say yes or no, and then you take the conversation from there. But First step, let's go ahead and build out this drip campaign. Now, we want to make sure this drip campaign goes out for at least, I like to do at least 12 months. Because I already told you the formula of how Facebook ads works but at a minimum 6 months or 180 days. So I think this drip is 180 days. Again, we use ChatGPT to help us with that, just to keep things simple and easy. So we don't have to manually write everything out. And I set this up in a way so we can just literally just copy and paste. So that first message that's going to go out is going to be a text message. And we don't have to worry about them opting in, because in the on the Facebook page, when they fill out that information, I automatically put the verbiage um, for you to be able to text message them, send them ringers, voicemails, even use AI to outbound call and follow up with them as well. We're probably not going to do that on this particular ad just because we want to keep it simple and easy for you. But from here, what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and add the drips. So that first SMS text that goes out, you're one step away from receiving your $5,000 towards closing costs. Complete the short eligibility form here. And I'm just going to copy and paste this and put this right in here. So what we do here to create that automation, we create the plus button, and then we need to send SMS. Simple as that. Just take that, copy and paste. Now, the survey link, I think I need to create that. So this is what we're going to do. I need to create a trigger link so I can put that easily in my emails and my text messages. So I'm going to go to the other GoHighLevel that I have on your page, and then we're going to create a quick trigger link, but I need to get the link first. And I think I may or may not have it open already. I don't think I do. Nope. So let's get it. So let's go to sites. We just created this yesterday. Here it is, the 5,000 closing calls credit Facebook ad funnel. Let's take a look at it. Kept this simple and easy. Built this. Took us maybe 5-10 minutes. So I'm going to take this link, and then now I need to create a trigger link. So we're going to go to marketing, go to trigger links. I don't think, oh no, I have it here already. There we go. So we don't even have to do all that. Let's click this out, and let's go to trigger links. And there it is, 5K form. After submitting, check your email to receive your closing cost certificate. See which pop-up will no impact to your credit. To be safe, check your spam or promotions folder. Put that in. Please check your spam or promotions. Oh, got that in there. That's good. Let's save it. I don't need to test it. Now let's go back to what ChatGPT build out. We'll send the email immediately as well. So we'll go here, no wait in between, send email. All right, and then now let's see what we got. Here's the subject. And remember, we're not sending out, hold on, I actually did SMS. And remember, we're not sending out the actual certificate until they fill out the form. So everything in this automation is to get them to fill out the form. So we'll do that here. Let's go back here. We're going to copy and paste all of this. Keep it easy, simple. I'm not even going to read it. I trust ChatGPT because this is all filler. That. Just make sure the spacing is good on everything. And I need to make sure that I Update the survey link, which I already created the trigger lead for. Your spacing is good. And like I said, this is not hard. It's just tedious. And all that. Again, like I said, make sure the spacing looks good on everything. And put the link in here one more time. Trigger link. Looks good. I may send this to myself to see what it looks like. Send test. It's probably going to go to my spam. Let's see. Let's check spam. Check promotions. Nope. Let's refresh the whole page. All right, we'll come back in a minute so let's see what the email actually looks like. All right, let's get back to building us out. Let's track the clicks. Right here, we're gonna save. All right, so next, what are we gonna do? We're gonna wait a day and then we're gonna send a voicemail. Now I'm gonna show you how I send my voice, how I create my voicemails. Now you can create them yourself, record them yourself, or you can have AI just do it. You can either clone your voice or just use one of the AI voices. I keep it simple and easy. It don't need to be rocket science. Just use one of the AI voices. We're going to wait a day. Then I'm going to do ringless voicemail. So I think that's VM or voice. There it is, voicemail. All right, I need to create the voicemail though. So I like to use 11 Labs. So this is 11 Labs. 11 Labs, you can get a free account. They give you free credits. You can create, up to it's like 10,000 credits a month or maybe 5,000. But it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. All right, so let's go back to ChatGPT. Let's look at this. Let's copy it here. And how I got here, I logged into 11 Labs and then just go to text to speech. That's it. Let me make sure my sound is sharing. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear this. May not be able to hear it. And if you can't hear it, just know that it is basically just multiple participant shares. Multiple participant shares, so advance over time. One item can share at a time, multiple participants can share at a time. We can share. I don't know. Guys, you may or may not be able to hear this, but we'll see. Move this out of the way. All right. Let's generate it. So I was just going to take this and
Hello.
generate it.
This is a follow-up regarding the $5,000 closing cost assistance program. This message is to remind you that in order to receive your closing cost certificate, the short eligibility form needs to be completed. Once the form is submitted, an email will be sent confirming your certificate and showing what you may qualify for without any impact to your credit. Please check your text or email and complete the form when you can.
All right. So if you heard that, hopefully you did. If not, it's okay. Now all I need to do is download it. So we're going to download it here. Click the download button. And it's already downloaded. So now we need to go back to GoHighLevel and then we need to upload this file. Load it. So just do it. This is the most recent one. There we go. All right, so we uploaded voicemail number one. Let's play it. It works. Now let's see what's next in the automation. So when I'm wait a day, send a text message. So we're going to save this. Then we're going to add a new action. We're going to wait 1 day, change this to day, change this to one, save. And we're just going to And from here, literally all we're doing is just copy and pasting. So I'm going to stop talking. I'll do like the little fast forward on the video
All
editing.
right, so
And
here is where I kind of messed up a little bit. I forgot to push the record button. So this is a voiceover. So I finished the rest of the automations, went all the way through. I think I did this automation for the first step all the way to 90 days. We have the trigger, which is the Facebook ad lead form. And then we will go from there. We will do all of the automations, text, voicemails, emails, your internal notification. So you know you got a new lead. And we have it tagged so we know where the lead came from and everything there. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to actually set up the next automation, because remember, this is a two-step automation. We have the first step, which is the Facebook ad. When the lead comes in through Facebook, click on the form in Facebook, and it goes directly into your GoHighLevel, and it triggers the automations, and that goes out immediately. And then once we have all of that, this automation, the whole purpose of this automation is for them to fill out the form so they can get their certificate. And then basically this form just pre-qualifies them, basic qualifying questions to see if they qualify. But let's go ahead and set up that next automation, which is once they filled out the survey, the qualification survey, to see if they qualify. Basically, they're filling this survey out so they can get the certificate. So let's go ahead and create that right now. So we need to make sure that we have. All right, so we need to make sure that we have the automation set up for the second step, which is once they fill out that form, that link for the survey that they got in the last automation. So let me go ahead and name it. And then let me go ahead and create the trigger. So the trigger that we're going to create is the survey that they're going to fill out from the first automation. So all those texts and emails gives them the link to the survey. That's the qualifying survey. As soon as they fill that information out, they're going to receive the same thing: text, emails, ringless voicemails. Now, I'm not going to go super long with this. I think I'm going to do this for about 90 days. But the next thing that we need to do is, because if they've already filled out that survey, we don't we don't want them to continue to get the automations from the last automation. So now that they did the second step, the next step that we need to do is we need to remove them from the old automation because they've already filled out the survey. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go and click on remove workflow, and we're going to find the actual workflow that we just created that sends them the link for the survey. So we scroll down, we found that here, and then all we do is save. So as soon as this is triggered, it'll automatically remove them from that old workflow. That way they're not getting double hit with automations from the old workflow that goes out to like up to like 6 months, and then automations from this new workflow. So we want to make sure that we're not killing them with a bunch of text and emails. We want to make sure that we look like we know what we're doing. All right, so we got them removed from the workflow. The next thing we want to do is actually set up the couple other things. We still want to make sure we have tags. We still want to make sure we do internal notifications so you're notified when they've hit the next step, because you want to jump in there and give them a call. No matter how good these automations are, I don't care if the automations were written by Jesus Christ himself. No matter what, you still are going to have to jump on the phone and give these people a call. So the next step is to actually, let's start doing these next couple of automations. But actually, we need to make sure that they receive their certificate. Because remember, we're setting this up because I always want to make sure they get something tangible. So when they fill out that survey, they're expecting to get a certificate. It'll come to their email. The other reason why I say that as well is because when you give them a call, because no matter what, you're still gonna have to give these people a call, jump on the phone, give these people a call. When you give them a call, you want to give them something or have something to say when you give them a call. So basically, when you give them a call, ring, ring, say, hey, this is Ryan from, Morningstar Mortgage. I was reaching out to you. You actually requested some information on our $5,000 closing cost assistance program that we're running right now. Did you receive your certificate in your email so you'll be able to take advantage of the up to $5,000 closing cost credit? 9 times out of 10, they probably never opened it. They never saw it. They're going to say yes or no, and then you take the conversation from there. Just that one thing that helps and just opens their eyes up. So let's go ahead and do that. Hold on. I'm going to get us back on track. I'll be right back. All right. So the next step, we need to create the actual certificate. So certificate is always already created. I created in Canva. This is just something tangible to get them to let them know they're going to get up to $5,000 in closing costs credit. Leave this blank for the name because we're going to let GoHighLevel fill in the name automatically on the certificate, so we don't have to do it, and it just looks more personable and more professional. Now, part of this, they have to work with one of our realtors. I always put an expiration date on it as well, because I don't want them to hold on to this for 4 years and be like, oh, I'm ready to use it now. So first things first, we need to go to memberships. Then we need to go to credentials. And then we need to go to new. I have one in here already. Let me delete it. Now we need to go to new. We're going to create this from scratch. And we're going to create a blank template. Let me go ahead and name it what I need to name it. Got that there. Then we go to create it. All right. Now I need to change this to landscape so it can look like an actual certificate. And then all I need to do is just drop the image in. It's right there. I already got it saved in here in the media storage for GoHighLevel. Then I just need to adjust it for size. Let's get that in there. Got that. Now, yep, got this sized out, looking good. Now I need to add the actual custom field, which will automatically put the client's or the potential lead's name in. So I need to go ahead and go text. Let's go header. Let's just make that a little bit smaller so it looks a little better. That looks pretty good. Adjust it a little bit. And then now go to the custom fields. And we're going to check the name. Let's get the name, contact's name. Let's make that. Let's do a couple other adjustments. Make sure this is looking a little bit better. Let me see if I can adjust that name really quick. Hold on. Let's see. No, I think we're good. Let's preview it, see what it looks like first. All right. So, yep, that's where the name will look like. Now, when it goes out to them, it'll actually have their name on it, John Smith or whatever the name is. They'll be able to, download it just like any other document, make you look, official, like, like you know what you're doing. And then, like I said, they get something tangible. So it makes it look a little bit, a little bit more, legit. All right, let me adjust this down a little bit. Space, make sure the spacing is good. Save it. And let's see what it looks like again on the preview. And I think that looks good. Yep. All right, so we got that saved in here. Let's save that. Let's see where we at. All right, perfect. So we got that saved. Now let's get back to the automation, because as soon as they fill this information out, I want to make sure. Now I'm going to refresh this because I did that in another tab. So now as soon as they do the automation, of course, we want to make the emails and everything fire off, but we also want to make sure that we update that we send them out the certificate as well, because this will automatically send the certificate out, which makes it easy and straightforward. Let's go ahead and get that in there. But I want to make sure that I have this tags, because this tag is a little bit different, because this is the tag to let you know that they went to the next step of your ad. They filled out the application, because you'll get a lot of leads. I think on this ad campaign you'll get a good amount. You'll get a good amount of leads for the area that you're in. I think we're running this all over the state of Texas. So we're doing a $25 a day campaign. So you'll probably get a good number of leads every single day. So now we got the tag in here. Let's do the internal notification. So we know when they fill out this information and they went to the next step, you get notified. That way, all right, let me go ahead and jump on the phone and call these people. So we'll get that in there. Make sure we update the subject, and I'll update the subject and keep the body and do the body of the email the exact same, because all we need to know is that you get notified that you got a new person that filled out the $5,000 survey. I'm going to make sure that is assigned to you specifically. You can assign it to anyone in your CRM, but like I said, you're one man. I'm doing this for someone that is a one-man show, so we're just going to do that. All right, so now all we need to do is let's go ahead and fire off the certificate. And just like that, you go in there, super easy, super simple. Got the certificate fired off. Save that. Let's make sure it's named correctly. Make sure everything is labeled clearly, so you can make sure that you stay as organized as possible, because I promise you that keeps everything really simple and easy. So now what I'm going to do is the same exact steps as we did before. Now we're just going to fill in the rest of the automations. And again, I used to write all my automations, text message, emails, rings, voicemail, scripts. I used to do it all from scratch, all from the top of my head. But now with ChatGPT and Google Gemini and all these different LLMs, I no longer have to do any of those things. So all I have to do is type exactly what I want. It'll take my voice and it'll create everything that I need it to create. So I'm going to fill out the rest of this automation. I'm not going to make you sit through that. So let us take a quick break. And when I come back, we'll finish wrapping this up. All right, so I just finished doing this automation. We did this second automation is a full 90 days. The whole purpose of this automation is to have they've already filled out the survey. So the next step for this automation, its only goal is to get them to set up an appointment and to get them to fill out your actual online application. So that's the whole goal of this automation. But now I'm going to make sure I do the workflow settings. I want to make sure that we have the right time zone in here. And then we also want to make sure that we have the name. We're going to use the account name, which is the business name, and then the email, which is account email. That way, that allows you not to have to put the name and the email in each email action in the workflow. And then because we're in Texas, we need to be mindful of TCPA. So let's go ahead and adjust that. We're not going to send anything out before 10 a.m. just to be safe. And we're not going to do anything after, to be safe, let's do 7:30. I think it's actually 8:30, but let's do 7:30 just to be safe. And then we can send out every single day, Sunday to Saturday. Make sure everything is good. And let's make sure it's saved. So yeah, it's saved. So now that is done. and it's published. Let me make sure I publish the other workflow, and then also make sure I did the settings correctly on that one as well. Because remember, this ad does not fire until February 9th. So it is the second, well, third for me right now, probably second for you guys in the States. So it's February 2nd/3rd. So we got a, good little few days before this ad goes live. So what I will probably do, I may go and create a specific outbound voice agent that will go out specifically for this ad campaign for these leads. And then we're going to test that to see, how it works, how it converts. But let's just make sure that everything on this actual workflow, these workflows and these automations are set up, making sure we're testing everything, making sure all the emails, the voicemails and everything are good, making sure everything is published. So when that lead comes in from Facebook, we already have it mapped. We're gonna make sure all this stuff gets fired out. That's the ad that I'm doing for the gentleman in Texas. This is his very first ad, doing $25 a day in the state of Texas. So we're going to see, and I'll keep you all up to date because we're going to follow this from beginning all the way to end, and we're going to see how this ad performs. But yeah, that's everything. So basically what we did in this video is I'll do another video to show the walkthrough of the ad from A all the way to Z. But basically what we did in this video, we went through and we're doing all of the back end work for running the ad, because just running the ad, that's just the small portion of the work. Now, this is the actual form that they will be filling out. This is the survey that they will be filling out. So they can claim their quote unquote closing cost credit, voucher. We got all that in there, make sure all the links and everything are working. But like I said, running the ad itself, whether you're doing Facebook or Google, what have you, that's the small part of, making this work. The thing that's going to make your ads work and your leads work is going to be what you have set up on the back end, which is what we built out here today. So we built out a fully automated follow-up for new leads running for a Facebook ad. So if you are running any Facebook ads or you're looking to run Facebook ads, this video literally just walked you through from A all the way to Z of linking it to your GoHighLevel CRM and setting up the automations. Again, if you have any questions, you know that you can always reach out to the automation boss. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can, get as many eyes on this as possible. I'll have all my contact information below in the description on my socials. And then, of course, if you want to learn a little bit more, I'll be creating a free community here pretty soon. But I also have my Facebook group in the description as well. But again, this is Ryan Jones, the Automation Boss. Another day, another video. I want to thank you and peace out.